everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you just so happen to be stopping by for the very first time, thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Donella, and of course this is my world of beauty here on YouTube. Okay, so for this week's video I'm going to be doing something simple, something fresh that I basically do almost every day. Now this is my everyday, everywhere, every time, night or day look. Now it's a very simple look. Well, to me it is. I believe that everybody can do. I know there are some minimalists that don't really like the heavy feel of heavy cake on makeup, so I'm one of those persons. Like, I very rarely wear a full coverage makeup look. So if you are interested in seeing how I create my everyday look, then please stay tuned. Now, if you can recall maybe a year or two or something ago, I did do a similar video like this where I created my everyday look, and it was something that I wore to work every single day. Of course, you know, fast forward back in 2020, you know, when the pandemic hit globally and everybody had to wear masks and all those different stuff, I was basically just filling in my eyebrows. And you know, once all the lockdowns and everything and curfews and everything were lifted, I basically was just, you know, I had to wear my mask. It was mandatory, and I just basically wore sunscreen and filled in my eyebrows to head out to work. So now that all of that has settled and everybody's back to their everyday life, I truly believe this is something that you can, for persons who really love the feel of makeup, for persons who just don't want to look plain going into work, especially if you work in an industry like me, where I work in the legal industry, where you have to have a lot of video conferences with your clients, potential clients, your bosses, persons you work with, and you just don't want to look plain on camera. Then yeah, let's create something cute that we can work. Okay, so let's get started. If one of my eyebrows actually like it's already filled in, it's because it already has been filled in. For this look, for this look I'm about to create, I always use my Benefit Cosmetics Goof Proof pencil. This is the pencil that has the this is the pencil that has the slanted, thicker. Let me push it up just a little bit more. This has this slanted, more thicker pencil. I prefer this. Ask me how can you tell the difference between which side is which. The side that has the pencil is slightly bigger, like it's much thicker, and then the one that has the spoolie is slightly smaller, because the spoolie is smaller. So let's just move on to this eyebrow real quick. So I'm using my Too Faced Balm This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. This one is in the shade Spice Rum. Use everything that I use in this video down in the description box. Let me just run through what I did. I started right here, not at the beginning, but more so in the centermost portion of my brow, actually where my arch is almost. This brush is actually too thick. I'm trying to look for the thinner one, but that's okay. There, I have some here to the top that I'm trying to tame. I normally just take the excess that's on the brush and just brush it down so both corners can meet. And voila. I don't use a lot of concealer on my eyebrows because it does take a bit of time to blend out, and I don't want all that concealer. I don't want 2015 eyebrows, basically. I want my eyebrows to look nice and clean, that I don't have that line. So I tend to not put a lot of concealer to the top, and then I just take this round tip concealer brush and blend out just below my brow bone, and then I like to just go to the tip of my brow and blend it in with the excess concealer that's on the brush on both ends, so it looks a little bit more natural. It looks more like my eyebrow. It doesn't have that block shape. It looks more natural. Basically, I already prepped my skin in terms of my serums, moisturizers, etc. Now, because this is basically my everyday daytime look, I am going to incorporate some sunscreen in with my Black Girl sunscreen, the Make It Matte formula. This has SPF 45, and this one is a clear formula, so I'm just going to go in with 2 finger strokes and apply it to my face. Now this is my everyday makeup look, so if you're going to be doing this for a nighttime look, of course you could just skip the sunscreen aspect of it. But if you're going to be using this maybe from daytime into nighttime, maybe you have a after work engagement, you can still put on the sunscreen because you're going to be out during the day, and you still want to have that extra layer of protection for your skin. I like to apply some to my neck. That's just my preference. I feel like my neck is connected to my head. My neck holds up my head. So if I'm going to be applying some protection to my face, why not add some to my neck? With my YSL blurring primer, anything that blurs these very large pores, I'm all for it. So add about 2 pumps on my hand. So right after that, I'm going to go in with the same concealer, Spice Rum, and I'm just going to add a couple of dots right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. I like to go in with my concealer first, just so I can see that I'm covering the areas that need extra coverage. By the way, I need to put some right here. That's because I have some darkness around my mouth area. So I'm going to go in and do that. Allow it to dry down for like a minute. Now for my everyday look, I don't like to go in right away with my beauty sponge. I like to go in with a round tip concealer brush and basically spread it before I go in with the beauty sponge. So I'm going to use my brush to spread it first. Spread it in the areas that I know I need the coverage, the concealer coverage. So I'm just gonna spread it with the brush first. Spread it, spread it, spread it. After I've spread it, then I go in with a beauty sponge, and then I just do some light taps. I'm doing really light taps because I don't want to move the concealer around. I want the concealer to stay exactly where I placed it. So I'm just going to do some light tapping. And by the way, as you can see, I'm not blending out the one on my eyebrows, the one on top of my eyelids as yet. I want that to sit for another minute before I blend it out. Take the excess and rub it just around the areas. Even though I'm not really covering anything up, it's just basically a way of me saying, hey, let me just put some concealer on top here to kind of balance out everything. It doesn't really mean that I'm trying to cover up anything. I'm just trying to balance out the concealer right there, because sometimes my hand gets slightly heavy and it just looks like a lot and needs a little extra blending out. Step is for me to go in with either a tinted moisturizer or a foundation. Now in most cases, for my everyday look, I always go in with my Fenty Easy Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I love this. I use this a lot. But for this look, I think I want to try this Clinique Stay Matte Oil Free makeup. I've had this for some time and I haven't used it. It's in the shade WN122, which is, the name of it is Clove. I've never used Clinique foundation, I'm telling you now. So I'm really hoping that this looks good. Really hoping. So I'm going to go in and apply it with a flat tip brush. It's looking real neutral. Actually, it doesn't look that neutral. I think I have way too much foundation on the brush. I might have to not use all of this depending on how sheer this is. Let's see. Let me just go ahead and blend this out. I'm not really sure if I'm... Oh, never mind. I actually used all. Never mind. I actually used all. So I'm just going to blend this in. Over on this side. Make sure we pat this in. And then I'm going to go over it with a beauty sponge. The shade match. I was kind of questioning the shade match, but it looks really good. And wow, that just melted straight into my skin. I actually need to blend out this on my eyes now before it dries up. And like I have like 3 MACs on my left eye and 3 MACs on my right eye. I applied the foundation in my forehead area, and I'm just basically taking the excess that's on the brush and blending it in all the areas that probably need maybe extra bit of touch up. And I'm also just trying to spread it out evenly over my face. So I'm just going in once more using this flat foundation brush and just flat tip, flat bristles, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember the name of this brush. I got it from Amazon and it is good. I don't know what it's, I think I would have to probably go back into my order history, but it has the symbol on it and it just blends out foundation amazing. Like it just, the bristles on it are so soft. Oh, everything just melts into your skin like butter. Go in and set my under eye concealer, and for my everyday look I don't use my Fenty. Surprisingly, surprise, I don't use my Fenty for my everyday makeup look. I actually found something that I really love. and it's the, you can't really see the name on this, I'm sorry, I clean my stuff off with alcohol so the name eventually disappears, but this is called a baking powder from Makeup Revolution. If you're not familiar with Makeup Revolution, it's actually a really affordable makeup brand. It's kind of like the UK brand version of like Elf. You know, Elf is like a very, very affordable brand. Yeah, Makeup Revolution is the UK version of Elf. Elf is from the US, right? Yeah, Elf is from the US. So if you're looking for something that's in the drugstore corner of Fenty, this is it. And by the way, I did do a review on both of them. Yeah, they're both really good. So I'm just going to dip my powder puff in what I would have thrown over in the cover of the Makeup Revolution baking powder and just set my under eyes. This powder, as you can see, is so amazing, right? It just, and for persons who really like that matte, overall matte look, well, the Clinique foundation says it's a matte foundation. It's matte and it's oil free. So I believe my overall finish is not going to look as dewy as I'm used to, which is fine, because you know, once your natural sweats and oils and everything else seep through this, it's gonna look dewy by the end of the day anyway. So, and you probably need to apply some touch-ups, so that's fine. I don't mind it looking matte right now, but I am going to be applying this a little bit more powder in this area right here, because I find I sweat a lot right here, like right here in this area right here. So I'm just going to apply a little extra powder, and then I'm going to apply some here. Even though I didn't apply any concealer, I still like to apply powder in this particular area right here. This is an area where I have massive sweating, so all the areas where you see me pounding a little extra baking powder right there is the areas where I sweat a lot. Now we're going to move on to adding a bit of contour. Let me just add just a slight contour to my face. I like to see my face either bronzed or contour, or a combination of both. Just depends on how I'm feeling on that day. But everybody know I'm falling in love with the Yummy Skin blurring powder balm. What is it called? It's the Yummy Skin blurring balm powder. Sorry guys, now I'm falling in love with this. I'm going to use this to contour. Just add a bit of dimension to my face by adding just a slight bit of contour. And I'm using a different brush. I'm not using the round tip brush I used in the previous videos. Just gonna add just a bit of dimension to my face, not too much, because this is an everyday look. We don't know if we want this, we don't want this to look too loud. We want it to look nice and soft and subtle. So we're not going to add too much of the blurring balm powder to make it look like too excessive. So after we've done all that, I just remember I haven't set the concealer on my eyelids, so I'm going to go in. I like to go in with one of these MAC Studio pressed powders. The one that I love is shade, I believe this is shade NW48. I think it's 48. Again, I can't see what's underneath there. I clean these things so much, right? Eventually they just disappear. I like to just add basically like a skin tone color to my everyday look. I don't like anything that's loud and too excessive. Basically, I'm setting the concealer that was used to sculpt my eyebrows. I'm doing that. So I'm also going to add just a bit just above my eyebrow, where I applied the concealer that was placed right below my brow bone, and the rest of it that was used on my lid to prep my lid for this powder right here. I don't like anything over the top. Very simple, very neutral look. And if you want to add just maybe a bit of pop or sparkle something, you can do that. But I kind of like my everyday look to just have my eyes look neutral. Something that's more skin tone, natural, whatever you want to call it. Now that's and this is NW55, which is slightly darker. So I just use that as like a contour shade to just add right between here. You're really not going to see anything, but I'm just doing like a small contour. Even me, I'd be saying, well, I can't even really see the contour, but I know it's there. Like, you have to look really close. Like, you have to be this close to see it, okay? Like this close to see it. So it's not something that I want to be loud. I just want it to be a very soft, subtle contour, which I got it, and then we're just going to move on to adding some primer and some mascara and finish with a nice natural neutral lip color. So I just went ahead and lined my waterline with a MAC liner that I can't seem to find. I literally just had the MAC liner in my hand and I don't know where it is. But anyway, I'll put the name of it down in the description box. I'm just going to move on to priming my lashes. Both of these are from Lancôme. This is the lash primer. This is called the Lancôme CILS Booster XL. I'm not sure if these 4 letters are meant to be a word or if you just need to say CILS. I don't know, but it's Booster XL. This is the primer that goes with the mascara. This is the Monsieur Big mascara from Lancôme as well. Let me tell you something. I have never seen something so delicious together in a while. This actually, you remember some time back when I first mentioned priming your lashes for persons like me who have nothing, who have non-existent lashes. You got to basically put on a primer for them to come out. And that one from Christian Dior was my all-time favorite. This reminds me of it a lot. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let me tell you something. Right when I'm done with this, when I am done putting this on, you're gonna see how delicious this looks. This is an amazing eyelash set, especially for persons who aren't comfortable with wearing lashes. And of course, you know, it's an everyday look. Sometimes you don't want to put lashes on everything. Sometimes you're just comfortable with just, hey, let me just pull out a mascara and put some on and be comfortable with that. I actually feel I don't have enough primer on my bottom lashes. Let me just add like a couple more coats and maybe change the angle of the primer because I'm not getting the coat that I normally get. Okay, there we go now. Now she's primed. That looks primed. This mascara one pulls out a lot, so I like to just take the excess and just do it like this because she pulls out a lot. She pulls out a lot. So you have to be very, very careful. And then we just go in and just coat that with the mascara. Every time I put on a mascara, like that primer and mascara combination, it just makes me feel like I just applied a pair of lashes. I could feel the volume, I could feel the length, I can feel everything, okay? And it's really good. Now, for my everyday look, I don't normally wear blush. That's because I feel like once I apply my Fenty bronzer, I'm okay with the look. But just for filming purposes, I am going to add just a little bit of blush so you can incorporate a blush if you want to. That's if you want to. I know there are plenty of persons who are afraid of blush. I know why, because I feel like blush just makes you look like, you know. But there are a lot of persons that afraid blush. May know why, but blush just makes everything looks good, okay? Makeup makes everything look good. Be not afraid of the blush. Add the blush. Love the blush. Okay. So let me just blend this out real quick. Make it extremely sheer because it's an everyday look. I don't want it to be too bold. Just gonna blend that in right quick. And then blend the other side as well. So it looks nice and cute. And then what my Fenty Mocha Mami, is that what it's called, right? Mocha Mami. I use the shade Mocha Mami because I love the reddish bronzy brick type of finish that I get, like that. And I can't go in with too much of this because I already applied that really lovely blush from Uoma Beauty. So I'm just going to try and make sure that this is nice and blended in and it's not too low. We have that, and then we're just going to move on to the lip color, which is the final makeup that we're going to be applying. For the final bits of makeup I'm going to be applying for this look, I'm going to be using a NYX Jumbo pencil. Now I know nobody come on them come tell me, oh, that's an eye pencil, blah 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 blah. But here's the thing, right? This is like the perfect brown shade whenever I'm doing my everyday look. It ties in so well with one of my NYX lip gloss. This is one of the NYX butter glosses. This one is in the shade Ginger Snap. I love Ginger Snap and the NYX Jumbo pencil. I think this one is called, this Jumbo pencil has a name. The color has a name. Oh yeah, it's called Frappe. is it Frappe? It's Frappe. I don't drink coffee, yes, I know if I call it right, but I think it's Frappe, and I absolutely love it. Let me just apply ginger snap over it before I start talking. This is ginger snap. It's like a really pretty pinky brown for dark skin color girls such as myself. Okay, so this is a completed look, my everyday look that I rock almost every wear, anytime, any day, whenever I feel like wearing this. So yes, the lip combination is something that I absolutely love. The Frappe and the Frappe and the ginger snap, it's like the perfect nude brown shade for dark skin girls such as myself who want something that's more on the glossy side, but you also want something that's not too loud. Just a nice soft neutral color. I actually bought Frappe specifically to use it as a lip liner. I didn't buy it to use it as an eyeliner. I've never used it as an eyeliner. I'm sure I could find other purposes to use Frappe for, but for now I'm using it as my lip liner, and then I apply ginger snap. There might be a few other colors that I feel would look perfect with that same brown jumbo pencil. However, I feel like in terms of my discovery and what I'm comfortable with, I feel like ginger snap works best with it. So this is my completed look. One more thing, I lied. Well, not that I lied, I forgot. One more thing, I always love to add my milk makeup hydro grip refresh spray. Now this spray, right, has some amazing reviews. One of the things I love about this particular setting spray is that it helps with transferring your makeup. Like, it sets your makeup in place. Have basically little to no transfer at all. It's it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Please let me know your favorite products that I use, or maybe products that you saw and you might be interested in using. Like to comment underneath the actual video itself, but they would send me a personal message, which is fine. But I would really love if you guys would comment under this video and let me know, you know, what you think of this video. So we've come to the end of this video. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up on your way out if you happen to have enjoyed it, and also don't forget to go ahead and click the subscribe button on your way out. Until my next video, I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye bye.